Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 10.33, German graphical augmentations, Third Reich events, units of the Third Reich, and the D-Worms mods plus some of my other small mods are all in here. You can find over on the Paradox Black Ice forum links to all of the mods, information. Yes, you can have energy, information on downloading, how to install it, and of course there's the handy install guide video on my channel, which there's links at various places on how to install all of that stuff. Okay, air superiority tactics. And so if you haven't already, please subscribe for many great things on the channel. Okay, that would be under here, I believe. Okay, I guess we'll let that continue. It's just 39 or 38. Okay, in order placed, do we accept it with based historical sales of German Turkey for Romania or we don't know what nation it is, but okay, well, I guess we'll do this. Okay, yeah, we don't care about that. Port strike tactics. Advance. I think we will shift over to tactical air support. Okay, payment received. Let's see, do we know? I don't know. We get a lot of money though for this and gain some supplies. Okay, Reich election or Reich elections, Reichsgau, Sudetenland. Again, you can see the type of ballot. Yeah, 9. I do think they monitored who was voting, what way was or whatnot. So is this a free election? Not really. Now we do lose some dissent as people get air bases 3. Now, I will say, to the best of my knowledge, in the Reichsgau there, which is all this sort of area here, joining Germany was a very popular thing. I do truly believe it was very popular. The first Vienna Awards, I guess we will go with it. Ooh, we gain lots of dissent. Germany. Well, I guess we'll do this now. They talk about here. First, it was a diplomatic attempt by Germany and Italy to enforce Hungary's claims on the southern parts of Carpathian Rus and Slovakia, at the time part of Czechoslovakia. Actually, it was the name changed. It changed to Czechoslovakia during this time period. Negotiations started in October 38, but despite intensive negotiation, no satisfactory solution acceptable for both parties was found in November. Yeah, one side didn't want to give up its territory, the other side did, or wanted the territory. So in November, Hungarian forces began to cross the border to the territory, and only a few months later, Hungary gave permission to annex the remaining lands of the Carpathian Rus, thus establishing historic borders between Hungary and Poland. So they've grabbed up all of this. Now, it was actually a fighting war. Now, like 20 or 30 people died in it, so it wasn't much of a war. Okay. Okay, so here, I guess this is happening, well, a little faster maybe than whatnot, because I think the end of Czechoslovakia comes in gain Slovakia. We're going to do that just because we're going to go historical. We don't need to take everything. So now that we have that, that will jump up, I think, that even more. Okay, Hungary into the faction, yes. We want to get that while we can, since they're digging us. Invite to faction, very likely to accept. Okay, Hungary is in. We now have Hungary in the faction. We have Slovakia in as a puppet. And these guys are going to end up going back over. Slovakia, yeah. Okay. Slovakia. 5 units of a yes will allow you to do that. Guarantee the independence of Poland. Okay. This is where the big mistakes really start to happen, in my opinion. I'm going to do a deeper dive into, or I don't know by the time you watch this whether I haven't made it yet, deeper dive into Czechoslovakia, but I know for sure France had a mutual defense agreement with Czechoslovakia. Regarding Germany. I don't know if Britain had one as well. But Britain is definitely the one that telephones. I think it was Chamberlain, or maybe it was the British Foreign Secretary or somebody. I'll look it up. But telephones the Czechs and says, you know, our best advice is don't fight it out over the Sudetenland. Oh, and by the way, we're not going to be joining any wars over the Sudetenland. But it's best just to let them have it. But the Czechs were sort of like, yeah, we're going to fight. We'll fight over this. Expecting, I think, to some degree, having significant support, particularly from France and Britain, but maybe even just fighting it out on their own. Just to fight it out. Because, hey, they had good defensive positions. They had a fairly modern army. Germany in 1938, even late 1938, was still fairly weak. That, hey, yeah, you guys can maybe push across the border. You know, they're still just working on the West Wall. It's not that big of a deal. We could get them in a two-pronged movement and really do it. But okay, so yeah, Britain sort of talks them down from defending themselves. Again, I don't know what the guarantees Britain particularly had with Czechoslovakia, but it also is France in there, and they don't, which I know it has some mutual defense agreement. And so France and Britain have backed down over Czechoslovakia, and then they issue these grandiose defense guarantees for Poland. Well, Hitler doesn't believe them. And so that's the mistake. Hitler doesn't believe them. And not that Britain shouldn't have issued them, but what's the point of issuing them if they don't, have the deterring effect of like going, hey, yeah, if you do this, it means war, so you better not do it. And Hitler goes, well, I ain't going to do nothing to go to war with you, but I don't believe that this is going to go to war with you, so we're going to go ahead and do it. No, that doesn't really work out. Okay, we've gained captain of industry for taking some of the stuff in Czechoslovakia there. I think we can quickly look over here for the strategic effect. maybe. I thought it was one of these down here. Maybe it's. Land power. Oh, captain of industry. Okay, yeah, you just control certain resource provinces. One of them, I think, being in Slovakia. Okay. Ribbentrop meeting with Bonnet, the French minister, or the Reich minister, of Foreign Affairs. Ribbentrop meets with French Foreign Minister Georges Bonnet in Paris. The Franco-German pact text. One, the French government and the German government fully share the conviction that a Pacific, peaceful is another term for there, and neighborly relations between France and Germany constitutes one of the essential elements of consideration or consolidation of the European, the situation in Europe, and of the preservation of general peace. I think the dates on this happened slightly before pushing into Czechoslovakia, but I would have to look that up to know for sure. And I was given this event. Maybe you can sort of tell I didn't make that event image, but this was a thing. And you can go into it. We're not, both governments agree. No question on territorial nature remains. Okay, so this is like, hey, yeah, we can, peace is the way for the future. Both governments agree that there is no German thought of wanting to regain lost territories vis-a-vis France from World War I, which... do we believe that? I don't know. Both governments are resolved without prejudice in their special relations with third powers, like Poland or Czechoslovakia, to remain in contact on all questions of importance, both for their countries. This will settle our western borders with France should we sign. So, you have a choice. We will lose some threat on France and France on us. We will improve our relations, or no, we're going to sign the treaty. So this is just sort of like, I'm not sure what everyone was thinking in all of that. Now we've gone to 611 in ICs. And because we've taken over a lot of Czechoslovak territory that has... The Czechoslovaks really, I'm not saying that there is doing as much research as German scientists would be, or as enthusiastic, or whatnot. And there's definitely post-war claims that the Czechs were trying to sabotage efforts. I'm sure some were. But we see things like... the most advanced artillery piece was developed by the Czechs in, I think it's late 1944, and they've done some other development along the way. Developed one of the more, in 1940 or so, developed one of the most advanced trucks in the world, and they only produce it in the lowish hundreds from one factory, but they go into fair number of it. Production goes into I guess we're going to do 39. So let's come over here and start the, yes, artillery. Lowest numbers go into the, Wehrmacht use, but the Tatra trucks were rather good. Okay, recon unit coordination. So, I think if we're going to do 39, we're going to do some other than some of these basic ones. Okay. And so the Czechs really do contribute to German technical development. for various reasons. I don't know that there's like a good reason. I think there's multiple reasons, and it probably varies from project to project. No, we're going to decline that. Okay, so I want to look here. Okay, because we now have this. So we already did have automotive industry. I think, so I don't know if that's the only reason or whatnot. You can see if any of these have heavy industry that we want to make sure we are stacked. Now that's back up in Germany, but still, yeah, that's fully developed. We want to push hard on where we can. So they've got some decent industry there. The Hungarians picked up those 5. Wow. It's on this border region here. 5 ICs is very nice, especially for a country like Hungary. Not going to make them a superpower for sure, but still. Well, the Slovak army is looking fairly decent at the moment. Another thing I love about Hearts of Iron 4 is the ability for puppets that you can request forces from them, so that I could request some of the Slovak forces so that I can properly use them, and factional allies, especially like, you know, if there's no contiguous border with whatever enemies, they can go, hey, we'll send you these bunch of forces, do you want them? And so, you know, they may not be great forces, but hey, they can guard ports, or, you know, you can use them as anti-partisan forces or something. Even if they're trash forces, they would be, you're placing them where you think they're useful and using them best. Okay, infantry unit training has advanced. I believe that is here, and so we're going to start moving some of. Okay, we're almost to 39. Do we do rocket engines? Not this early. Air launched torpedoes, yes, we'll do that. Okay. King Carol II, the Fuhrer meets King Carol II at Berchtesgaden from Romania. No agreement with opportunists. Okay, so we definitely, if you remember earlier on, he and other Romanian government elements, but particularly him, had toured, or Germany had asked Romania if they wanted to sort of ally up against, you know, primarily Soviet Union. Romania goes, no, maybe not hell no, but definitely a no. And then after that, King Carol visits France and Britain, looking for an alliance with one or both of those countries, and basically they say no. I think mostly because, well, the biggest fear at the time, of course, because they hadn't even gotten Austria or Czechoslovakia yet. That really wasn't the big threat for Romania. It was the Soviet Union. And you can just see, you know, Britain really and France really can't get in too effectively to defend Romania. So it was more, and as well as look at home, it was who wants to die for Bucharest. It was probably even more so than who wants to die for Danzig or something. So, you know, it wasn't going to be popular at home. And in a practical sense, they really couldn't do much, quite honestly. And so instead of giving, you know, Romania false hope, Like, yeah, stand up to them, Soviets. We got your back. Oh, really? They called the bluff, So they say no. So now King Carol meets only because his tour. Okay. Furthermore, he wants to meet with Vera only because his tour failed. Yeah. With very frail diplomatic situation, our delegation made him cold welcome. The King of Romania wants to build a highway between the Reich and his country, and the assurances that we will not support the Hungarian revanchism, basically getting back lost territory from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So this is, do we want to agree not to support Hungary and maybe help against the Soviets? We say no. I don't give you an option there. Maybe I should, but there really isn't a good thing for the German player. Just maybe purely on a give players options, but that would really piss off Hungary. Okay, and military police advance. Is it the one that's down here? Yes, I think so. And let's do single engine fighter prototype. Brazil considers admitting Austrians. Brazil's foreign office is considering admitting Austrian refugees from Austria. So that hurts our relations with them. Basically, people that either like Jews that are not particularly well liked within Germany, or just those that don't particularly like Nazis. They're saying, hey, yeah, come down here, join our nation. So that would definitely be an unfriendly act to National Socialist Germany. Not that much came of it, I don't believe. I think some did emigrate down there, but not big numbers at the time. Yes, you can have energy at the low, low price. Okay, Casual Schlock Advance. Okay, we'll let that go. Paratrooper activation. Okay, so that is a one and done. Allows some of the other technology stuff, which still may be a little more time-wise advanced. Okay, operational airborne assault tactics. And other airborne unit training, we'll do that. And fighter ground crew training has advanced, very nice. Let's move over to some of these others. And so we have now a big disruption here as we are integrating Czechoslovakia, or no, Bohemia and Moravia into the Reich. I've talked a little bit about whether it's a good idea to have Bohemia set up as a Reich protectorate, or have it just fully integrated in. Both have a case to be made, shall we say. Now, the Reich Protectorate is sort of, for Hearts of Iron terms, the why do I always on these words? It's not that I'm forgetting the word. The Reich Commissars, Reich Commissariats in the East. It's different than that, but it's that type of a thing. So, yeah, Constantine van der Roth, don't know exactly how you say it. I've heard it a few times, but I think I've heard it different ways, is put in charge of it, and he is sort of trying to do it gently. Hans Frank, no, not Hans Frank. He's the general government in Poland. The number 2 guy in the Sudetendeutsch Party, who's now in the SS, is put as sort of the second guy in charge under him. Okay, American blueprints. Stolen let us improve our abilities with 4-engine airframe research to level 4. Now, what would we have been otherwise? Okay, so we had been at, what's that, level 2 probably? Yeah, because we'd be researching 3 now. So that's jumped us up big time. Nice. Not that it's, well, just if we try to catch up here, it's helpful. Again, stealing technologies normally is better to just do the research yourself. Cost benefit, shall we say. But still, it's fun to steal the technology. Okay, the Czech Forts. We've had time to examine and test the Czech Forts. This is love the picture of that guy standing there. Forts. This will help our abilities to attack the Maginot Line as they're based on similar designs. Yes, some of I don't know whether there's exact plans from the Maginot Line forts, but some of the developers, shall we say, the designers for the Maginot Line forts, come and plan out the Czech defenses after they've done the Maginot Line. My understanding, this includes both, specifically how the bunkers are made, as well as, interlocking fire designs, bunker positioning and all that stuff is taken from what they've sort of done with the Maginot Line. And so now you can see they blasted the hell out of this bunker to see how much damage it can take from, I'm guessing by the pockmarks, 37 millimeter artillery pieces. I don't know. Some of that looks like machine gun hits, maybe 2, but trying to eat into the reinforced concrete. So, and since there's a lot of little ones versus what looks instead of big ones, I think, so just they're testing this out. So this improves our assault weapons gain, which is here once we get it. That will help fort attack for engineers and similar type units. Okay, Strategic Air Command has advanced. Nice, but I think we're going to stop that now. 10-engine ground crew training, I think, is more useful for us. I just don't know how effective strategic bombing is for Germany in trying to, bomb Britain. Or I would rather take, say, French industry, and I want French infrastructure intact when I try to move across it instead of being all chewed up. So it's only nations like Britain that I might not be invading early on would want to do it, but then I don't know, the fighter war, if it's effective to try to do the fight over Britain or not. That type of situation. Okay, well, if some production gets done on the Graf Zeppelin, fine. Got this Slovakian division, which is wherever this is. Up here. Okay, so we have a fascist militia division. This, I suspect, I don't know why specifically it's called the Slovakian division, but whatever. Maybe it's meant to sort of be loaned forces from Slovakia. I don't know. But there was a lot of Sudeten forces that get organized in. To various SA and other units. Okay, artillery unit training has advanced. We're practically in 39 now, just a day or two away from it. Okay, medium artillery brigades, destroyer crew training advanced, small warship. Damage control, which is nice because it keeps us from sinking, I guess. Okay, well that's 40. Something I don't think I want to push early on. There we go. Okay, I think we're going to end the episode here. I'm going to wait for the save to fully work. Just to let you know, I've made the last 3 episodes in one single sitting without a crash, though you can see this save is taking a long time, but I've learned just to wait it out. Even if it's going to take me 10 minutes, just wait this out. The last save was long, but it was just a few days ago, so even if this doesn't work, I won't have to replay much. It is always best to try to save and leave before the first of the month, because as part of the first of the month calculations, it calculates what events might be firing during that upcoming months. Okay, that works, so that's good. So yeah, so this hasn't been the most stable. I have been working to it has been working, but working to get set up to maybe record some episodes on my older Windows 7 machine and see if it runs more stable there. A few people have been finding their older machines are running this better, so I'm going to try that at some point here in the near future. I don't know if you'll be able to tell recording differences, but just for stability issues. So yeah, things worked actually very well up to the end of 38. So we've been having some problems with stability, but not bad today. So I want to thank you all so much that have made it this far. I really do appreciate all of you who watch. So see you next time for more Hearts of Iron.